Hi guys, it's Mina, and today in this video I'm going to talk about my top 10 movie sequels. By the way, this is all my opinion. If you guys don't like any of these sequels, that's just completely fine. I personally will enjoy them. And this is kind of weird for me because usually I don't really like a lot of sequels. Because I don't think they're usually as good as the first movie, but these are just sequels that I really like. And I think they're great, and they're just good movies. So I'm gonna get started, and I do have a movie review up for one of them, and I will mention to which one it is. And I will also link it down below when I mention it. I'm gonna get started. Okay, so the first one on my list is The Rescuers Down Under, and I bet a lot of you guys know that I really like The Rescuers Down Under. It's one of my favorite Disney movies, and I actually prefer it better than the first one. And actually, I do think a lot of people really prefer the first Rescuers over the first. Let me start over. So, number one on my list is The Rescuers Down Under, and I just like it better than the first one because it has more adventure, and it's just way better. It just has more adventure than the first one. The first one I thought was kind of boring, even though I do love The Rescuers. Don't get me wrong, I like The Rescuers. It's one of my favorite movies, but I just like the first one. Sequel better. I'm sorry. Yeah, I like the sequel better. And I think a lot of people actually do like the sequel better. Well, a lot of the people I know that have seen The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under, they say, oh, the sequel's better than the first one. And then again, a lot of people that I know always remember it as the first one. I don't know. It's just the weirdest thing. I think on YouTube, I also hear nowadays that a lot of people like the sequel better than the first one. It just gets better reviews than the first one, which is usually weird for a sequel to me. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but usually when you see a movie, then its sequel, you usually end up liking the first film better than the sequel. But, and then again, we're all entitled to our own opinion. And by the way, if you guys are interested in my 2 reviews of The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under, I will link that down below. Those down below if you guys are interested. Number 2 on my list would have to be Toy Story 3. Not Toy Story 3, sorry, Toy Story 2. I am so sorry, I cannot talk today. The reason I like Toy Story 2 is because I haven't seen it like 50 billion times. That's the only reason I prefer Toy Story 2 over the first Toy Story, because I have not seen that one like 50 billion times now. No, and number 3 on my list would have to be Toy Story 3. I don't know, I couldn't think of anything else. So the reason Toy Story 3 is number 3 on my list is the same reason as the sequel to Toy Story, is that I have not seen that one 50 billion times. And I bet a lot of you guys know that Toy Story is like the film that I completely hate now. Don't get me wrong or anything, I like the sequels, they're pretty good, but I just can't stand the first Toy Story because it's like the most overplayed film in my life. Then again, I was like that when I was younger. Like when I was a kid, I used to drive my mom nuts with the same movie over and over again, but that's what happens when you're a little kid, right? You drive your parents crazy with the same movie over and over again, and then when you get older, you get sick of it. Number 4 on my list would have to... Okay, so another reason why I like Toy Story 3, is because it shows Andy growing up and letting go of his toys that he loved so much when he was younger. Like all his, like Woody and Buzz, and he gives them to a good home even though he's not going to play with them. And that's really good. If you guys have any toys that you play with, you should keep them in a box and debate whether you want to keep them. And if you decide that you don't want them anymore, give them to kids that don't have as much. So that's a good way to donate. Like at Christmas time, if there's a Toys for Tots, donate your old toys. Well, you can't really donate your old toys. You could just only donate toys you bought. Bought 2 Toys for Tots. Anyway, sorry. Number 4 on my list would have to be The Jungle Book 2. The reason I like The Jungle Book 2 because it shows what happens after the events that happen after The Jungle Book. I really like those sequels that show what happens after the first movie. I don't like the sequels that shows what happens before the movie, because I don't know, I just find it really boring. That's just my own personal opinion. Because like you see Mowgli having a family, and then he misses the jungle. And then he wants to go back and see his friends. It's just really nice, and sorry if I give it away for those who haven't seen it. Number 5 on my list would have to be The Little Mermaid to Return to the Sea. The reason Little Mermaid to Return to the Sea is a number 5 on my list because it shows the events that happens after Ariel married the prince. It shows like they have children, have a daughter together, and what goes on during their lives in that time period, and that time what is going on with their lives during that time. I just really that's what I like about those kind of sequels, because it shows what happens after they got married. I just don't like the sequels that go like back to the childhood, because I just find them really boring. That's just my own personal opinion again. Number 6 is The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. And the reason The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride is number 6 on my list, because it shows the events that go on after Simba's dad passes away and his uncle, and how everything goes when he's taking over. And then he has a daughter, and he teaches her lessons, and she like learns stuff about it, and that's why it's number list. And by the way, Lion King is like one of the most popular watched films throughout my childhood, and this one was as well too. I love Simba's Pride; it's one of my favorites. Number 7 on my list would have to be Dr. Dolittle 2, and Dr. Dolittle 2 I like actually better than the first one. Same reason as the Rescuers Down Under and the original Rescuers. I just think it's a lot funnier than the first one. I just prefer it over the first. Don't get me wrong, I like the first Dr. Dolittle. I think it's really funny, but I just think the first one's a little bit funnier. Number 8 on my list would have to be Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement. And the reason that's number 8 on my list, because I think it's funny too. I think it's much funnier than the first one. And I didn't really like the first one that much. Yeah, I didn't really like the first one that much, but I thought the second one was a lot funnier than the first one. That's just my own opinion again. Number 9 on my list would have to be The Lion King 1.5. Now, The Lion King 1.5, even though it goes back to Simba's childhood, which I was a little annoyed about, I just think it's just really funny, because you get to see the events that happened with Timon and Pumbaa and their lives and where they go, and you get to see like their whole story, like how they met Simba, like let me think. You get to see how they met Simba, but even though it shows how they met Simba in the first film, and like where they came from, how they met. It's just, and it also like shows their crazy adventures, which is pretty funny, which I really like too. Number 10 on my list would have to be 102 Dalmatians. The reason 102 Dalmatians is number 10 on my list is because because it's just really funny. It's got cute puppies, and even though I do love the first 101 Dalmatians, it's just really cute. It's got puppy dogs, and I love dogs. And I bet a lot of you guys know that. If you saw my Boston Terriers, you know that I love dogs. It's fun, it's cute, all the puppies are cute, and I love anything that has like cute animals in it. And let me know if you guys want a top 10 animals videos, please. And it's just really cute. I love all the puppies, especially Oddball. She's my favorite character. And if you guys have any requested movie reviews for any of these videos that movies that I mentioned, please let me know down in the comments below. Okay, so those are my top 10 sequels. I hope you guys liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video soon. Actually, I'll see you in my top 10 Maroon 5 songs next. Bye!